Welcome back to Central Ontario, and welcome to the 50th video on GP Outdoors. I decided a few weeks back that what I was going to do on the 50th video is take some time to pull together some of the questions I've received numerous times from the subscribers and provide some answers out for everybody. So if you've got a little time on this otherwise dreary day, maybe grab a coffee and get comfortable and stick around and I'll answer a few of the questions. Cheers. So wow, 8 months later, and this is now the 50th video on GP Outdoors. I'm going to answer some questions today, primarily about the channel, video taping, how to make a tractor video, and also wanted to finish off with a little message for some of the new tractor owners or some of my subscribers that are looking at buying a new tractor. So with that said, a little bit about myself. I am here in Ontario, Canada. I have a wonderful wife and 3 daughters, and they're a little bit older now in their 20s, and we have 3 dogs. The property here that you see me working on with the tractor is actually not my primary residence. I actually live down where I work, but this is my cottage or my cabin. About 4 acres on a lake, as you folks know, and it's beautiful up here. I could live here if my job was here. I'd live here all the time. So one of the big questions I've been asked many times is the type of equipment I use to film the channel. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you probably noticed that the earlier videos I was putting out were probably not quite as polished as the ones I'm doing lately, and hopefully you've agreed I've improved just a little bit. Back in the early days, I used a helmet camera called a Replay. A bit of a challenging camera because it was always behind me, and of course I couldn't see where it was pointed exactly. From there I snuck into my daughter's room one day and I borrowed her Hero Session GoPro, and currently today I use the Hero Session. I also have a Hero 5 GoPro. Had an old tripod I had sitting in the basement for must have been 15 years that I never used, but it's now of course come in handy. When I filmed the footage, I use a MacBook as well as I use iMovie to edit and create the films before I upload them to YouTube. And I actually have a drone as well, which I fly, but I just got to talk somebody into flying it for me while I'm doing my work so that you can get some aerial views. So hopefully in the near future you'll start to see some drone shots. So let's talk about the making of a tractor video and what goes into it. So basically it's pretty simple. I get up in the morning, I put a pot of coffee on, just as you probably do. I take the cameras out, I start charging the batteries, I check to make sure the SD cards are clean, and I go outside with the tripod, start setting up the tripod, and I get the tractor warmed up and the hydraulic fluid warm so that when I start filming the video, we're ready to go. So in essence, when I am filming a video through the day, when I'm doing an activity, whether I'm grading the driveway or cutting the grass or grappling some branches or some timber, I always try to film in the order that I work throughout the day. So I don't film segments out of sequence. I basically, as I do my stuff, I'm filming. That's how it works. I never rehearse a segment, or I never rehearse what I'm doing before I film. I think I make the videos for the same reason you probably watch them. I'm not perfect, and as you know, this is my very first tractor, and I'm learning. I'm not ashamed or afraid of making a mistake, because I always, there's always somebody out there that has a positive comment or constructive criticism to say, hey, you did this really well, but next time do this, when you're using that implement. And that's how I learn. So we all kind of share a common interest. We love being outdoors. We love doing things outdoors, working on the land and taking care of our property. And so I don't rehearse or try to practice things and then video them. Basically, for example, if I'm going to go out and snowplow the driveway, I set up the tripods, put the camera on the tractor, I fire it up, engage my PTO, and you see it as I'm doing it. I don't try to do it first to figure out if I'm doing it right. What you see is what you get. At the end of a day of filming, or a morning or an afternoon of filming, on average to date, I usually have between 30 to 50 different recorded segments, and I have usually between 2 to 3 hours of film that I have to edit. On average, it takes me about 4 to 5 hours to create the video, edit it, finalize it, and upload it to YouTube. So that's a day in the life of a tractor video. So another question that I've been asked many times is, do I always videotape everything I do? And the answer to that is no. And there's 2 reasons for that. Similar to yourself, I have a list of chores or to-dos, as you do. And when you're filming and videotaping an activity you're doing on your property, it takes a lot longer to get your chores done. And as you can probably imagine, I've got two cameras going. You're always stopping and starting a camera or moving a tripod or changing the position of a camera. And as you're doing pieces or segments of your activity or trying to get your work done, you have to keep considering camera angles, where the sun is at that time of the day, and those kind of things. And it ends up taking a very, very long time to actually finish your job. So I predetermine what it is I'm going to put on the video channel, but I certainly don't videotape everything I do. The second reason is because I'm trying to keep the channel interesting and make sure that I have things that might be of interest to people like myself that share the same interests. So for example, if I'm cutting the grass every week, I don't show you me cutting the grass every week, week after week, because I show it to you when I think it might be of interest or I'm doing something different. So as an example, again, we can use the snowblower videos in the wintertime. I don't videotape every time I clear the driveway, but if there's something different or unique or something else I want to show you, that's when I videotape. So for example, if I wake up and it's -30, but we've had 2 feet of snow and all the trees are laden with snow and it's a beautiful, bright, clear, sunny day, that's a pretty nice video, and I try to assume that as subscribers we probably have similar interests and we like the same things, so that's something I'd like to see. So that's why I videotape it. From the point of taking a long time, you'll notice that I usually have segments where you see the tractor coming or you see the tractor going. So when you think about it practically, I get on the tractor, I fire it up, I get it warmed up, I take the camera, I walk 30 or 40 or 50 feet up in 2 feet of snow, I set the camera, I get it ready, I get the right angle, I turn it on, I walk all the way back down, you turn the tractor up, put the PTO on, fire it up, drop the snow blade, and you start going. And then you see me go by, and then of course you have to stop the tractor, shut it down, take off the PTO, get off, go back, get the camera, go move it to another position. So this hopefully provides you a little bit of insight as to why I don't videotape everything and what goes into the behind the scenes of making the tractor videos. So let's talk about the attributes or the format of the videos. Again, you probably noticed that from my early days, those first videos have changed kind of dramatically to what you see now, and a large part of that has to do with two things. Number one, I'm actually getting a little better at the software because I don't have a media or marketing background, so making these videos, I'm learning as I go, and I've been slowly getting used to the software. And the second thing is based on feedback I get regularly through the channel over the last 6 months. Some people like the sound of the tractor or the equipment through the video. Some people don't want to hear the tractor through the whole video, or the noise of the tractor, they want to hear music. So you'll get comments from people saying, hey, don't really like hearing the sound of the tractor for the whole video, so can you put music in the video? And then you'll get other comments from people saying, after you put music in the video, hey, don't like the music, I really want to hear the sound of the equipment. And then you also, another aspect of it is the speed. So when you're filming an activity, whether it's grading a driveway, cutting a lawn, or whatever, you'll find now that what I do is I'll show some of it in regular motion, and then there's another piece where I'll speed it up to 2 or 4 or 8 times speed to allow it to get through the session quicker. And that's because I have some comments from folks saying, I want to see every single little thing, so make sure you don't speed it up. And I have other people saying, it'd be better if you sped up part of that section because I don't want to see the whole thing in all the detail. So in essence, what you're trying to do across a large spectrum of people is you're trying to balance or find that happy medium so that all of you can enjoy it and get something out of it and like watching. Okay. So let's talk about preparation and sequencing, because I've had a number of different questions around that area. I don't wake up in the morning or decide today that I'm going to do a video tomorrow. I actually know the videos that I have lined up for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And really all it is I have my to-do list or my list of chores the same as you do. I just know in advance which ones I think I want to videotape for the channel that I think you might like, and which ones I'm just going to get out there, get it done, and check it off my list. So I don't decide in a quick fashion. I always know what's coming for the next few weeks, and I know which ones I'm going to do videos on. The odd time the sequence will change because, as an example, this week Guy had pulled out those 5 big logs out of his back forest and he was going to mill them. And because we had done that cherry wood video a few videos ago, I had a lot of positive interest in the mill. So I had a choice. I could have either just stuck to my sequence and what I was doing, or because of Guy's kindness, I was able to get over there and actually get him to spend some time with us and show us how the mill worked. And I thought that was of a lot of value to you folks, so that's why I did it. But short of that, I always know it's coming. When it's coming, I know well in advance when it's coming. The other part of this is the scheduling. So I know that on YouTube, and they have a number of different tutorials, and they say you should always put your videos out on certain days of the week, and they should always be, in a certain format. And I don't subscribe to that because I'm not trying to make a career out of this. I put out the videos when I do my work. And I know that some people like to get the videos on the same day every week, but I can't. My schedule doesn't allow me to work it that way, and I just think as I get my jobs done or my chores done, that's when I put the videos out. So let's talk about comments, likes and dislikes, and those kind of things. After 8 months, I have a lot of comments, and I love the comments. I love the interaction. I think that's the primary driver why I still keep making these videos. Is I love interacting with you folks. I love the advice I get from the more experienced folks, and I like the questions that come from people just like me who are trying to learn the same as I am. That's the big draw for me. A lot of great people subscribe to this channel, and I really enjoy getting comments from them, and that's what keeps me going. Thumbs up are really great. As you'll notice, the more views I get on a video, there's always a proportion kind of between thumbs up, and then you'll get 3 or 4 thumbs down. Never know why I'm getting the thumbs down, even though I don't get many of them, but it would be nice to know if somebody doesn't like the music or doesn't like the way I filmed the segment. It'd be great to know because that's what helps me to improve the videos. Lastly, let's talk about monetization, because there's this thing out there, you get your 1,000 subscribers, which thank you very much, we passed about a month ago, and I know that there's a monetization element to this YouTube channel. I've got a wife and 3 kids and the 3 dogs. If somebody's going to give me some money for what I love to do and what I enjoy doing with you folks, I'm more than happy to accept the money. Buys a can of gas every once in a while for the tractor, then that's great. But that's not a driver for why I do this. I do this because of you folks and because of the interaction, and I just love helping people. And I think one of the other underlying drivers for this channel is that when I was looking for a tractor about a year ago, a lot of my research came from watching a lot of you and your videos, which helped me to learn what it was I needed and what types of tractors or things I should look for before I bought my own tractor. So that kind of wraps up the video or the channel segment. Hopefully that answers a lot of questions for you folks. I wanted to end the video. I had just a message for some of the new tractor owners or the folks that are looking for a tractor. I have the B2601, as you know, the Kubota. I love that tractor, and for my 4 acres and my type of property and the things that I do, that tractor has been outstanding. I love that tractor. And even as late as this week when you saw I was helping my neighbor guy with his mill, and I'm lifting up that almost 1,000-pound maple timber with that tractor, just another example of the capability of that small tractor. However, because it works for me and my property here, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the right tractor for your needs. And so I appreciate a lot of the positive comments that I get on it. And I recognize that, similar to myself, when you see something actually working, whether it's the chipper this week or the box blade or any other type of implement, it gives you a much better understanding or comfort with that purchase. And I just wanted to make sure that as some of the subscribers that are looking to buy a new tractor, the B2601 is great for me, but depending on your needs or what you might want, the B2650 and L series, a different manufacturer, you need to make sure you do your diligence and make sure you get the right tractor for you, because I would hate for you to spend that much money without fully researching it to make sure you get the right amount of horsepower and capacity for a tractor that you're going to need to use on your property. Alright, so that kind of answers a lot of the questions that I've received multiple times from different people. Hopefully it provides some insight as to what goes into the making of a YouTube channel if you're interested in doing it yourself, because if you are, I'd love to see your tractor and what you do on your property. Hopefully answers why I do the channel. I do want to say I appreciate all of you folks, especially those that comment all the time, because I love that interaction, and I just like to hear the feedback. I like to see or learn how you do things on your property versus what you see me doing. And other than that, have yourselves a great weekend. Hopefully it's not raining where you are, and we'll see you again on the next video. Cheers.